Tonight we make our return to Crocker Field for some high school football. The Red Raiders return to action after a successful season of 6-5. A season boosted by their 30 senior veterans, including Sal Figueroa, who carried the Red Raiders with a total of 1,976 yards and was responsible for 132 points of the Red Raiders' scores. With record-breaking Figueroa gone, Coach DiGeronimo looks ahead to the future. Looking ahead, he starts with his new senior class of leaders, which includes four-year starter captain Andrew Brooks. Fitchburg opened their 2018 season with 2 games on the road. Backyard rival St. Bees proved to be a tough team to play, scoring 28 points in the first half, including a last-second touchdown. Fitchburg fought back as senior quarterback Andrew Brooks showed off his talents and leadership. The Red Raiders would fall short 34-18 in the season opener. The Red Raiders' second matchup was a complete surge in the first half as they scored 25 points to take a 25-14 lead. Shepherd Hill would rally back and the Red Raiders would fall short again, 35-32. Fitchburg still searching for their identity early here in the season. We are at Crocker Field for today's matchup against Nashoba. Nashoba started off hot, sitting at 2-0 and seeks win number 3. The Red Raiders are in hunt for their first victory of the 2018 season. And what better way of getting this first victory than in front of the home crowd? Friday Night Lights is back. The Red Raiders are ready to take the field. It's your Fitchburg Red Raiders taking on the Nashoba Chieftains here on FATV.
Good evening, everyone, from Crocker Field. Dave Clark, John Googety, Mike Flynn, 3 in the booth. It worked for one of those ABC games, I don't know. But anyways, John, nice to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Dave Clark. It's always a pleasure to do a game with you, and it's an honor to be here at historic Crocker Field for the Raiders' first home game of the season as they take on the Chieftains of Neshoba.
And as for, we always do this at the beginning of a new show, is trying to figure out how many years we've been doing this.
1. I'm on 1.
1 is correct, yes.
I believe our answer now is too many.
Yes.
I believe this will be year 38.
38?
38.
Good God. Well, with that out of the way, we can talk about tonight's game a little bit, Mike. Both teams, well, I did happen to watch Fitchburg High one night against the Bernardians, the Bernardian Bulls. And St. Bernard's, they played a heck of a game that night.
Well, you have to be impressed with the Bernardians. I mean, the enrollment in the school is about the same size as the freshman class for Fitchburg High. You've got probably 70 boys total in the entire school. Tommy Bingham dresses maybe 25, 30 guys.
The football field's roughly 70 years old.
They don't use any contact during the week because they can't afford to get anybody hurt. And they just go out and win every year. And they got a wagon this year, and people have been talking, they may go undefeated.
Yeah. There's my steeple.
Your steeple is lit, too.
I like that. Thank you.
You can't see it very well right now, but in an hour or so, it'll look nice.
Those people at the church, we asked them if we wouldn't mind putting on the lights for the football game. They said, yeah, that's a great idea.
It used to be on every game, and for years now it's been off. But with your pull,
yes,
we were able to achieve the lighting of the steeple.
That's what happens when you have a man on the inside.
Well,
we leave him in there generally. Usually Sweeney's in action.
He's been living up there for the last 12 years.
Look at some of these shots. Look at the shot from, where is that shot? Down by the
I think that'll be
stand.
on top of the, that's down, what we're seeing there is right in front of the concession stands, of course, newly renovated. This is, what, the second year since they completed those renovations?
Yeah, that's about right, yeah. But look at that, how,
got the new concourse.
What a beautiful train.
The new concourse there with the brickwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll talk about the brickwork a little bit later on. But right now, there's been quite a delay before neither team has come out yet. The cheerleaders are out. They certainly count.
Well, I was looking at the clock. The cheerleaders lined up really. I mean, game time isn't until 7, and they were lined up at 7:15.
Yeah.
The band actually got here early.
I know they're planning on doing a bit of a ceremony before the start of the game, Dave. Can you give a little bit of an explanation about that?
It's been a rough year for people from the fans of the red and gray, and one of its biggest fans passed away a couple of weeks ago, and Fred Sullivan, and there's going to be a little honorarium to him coming up before we get the game started. So,
And of course,
you
Fred
want to stay home, stay tuned to that.
Fred, the longtime public address announcer here at Crocker Field. I remember several audio engineers not being terribly fond of him, but I always got a kick out of Fred on the public address here.
You never had the trouble hearing Fred.
No, no.
And if you were in the press box, it was even more entertaining because some of the stuff didn't go out over the air.
No.
Good thing.
No. I imagine he saved his choicest comments for private moments.
Well, he did, but Freddie was pretty clean, but he bled red and gray. I mean, there was no doubt about it.
Boy, I love that shot from upstairs. That's just a different angle at how you see the game, And so, at FATV, we try to do these things every once in a while. Get a little creative, and we've got a great crowd, got a great crew tonight. So we look forward to starting it in a little while.
Yeah, real quick, while we have a moment, why don't we give a quick shout out? Our director tonight is Dave Oster, and there's one of the I love this shot. This is an incredible shot. We're lucky to be able to do that. We've got Travis Falk running replay for us tonight, as well as coordinating everything. I mean, 5 minutes ago, Travis was at midfield miking up the referee. 15 seconds after that, he was up here in the press box. I think he teleported. I don't know how he teleported, but I think Travis can teleport. Jared Roberts, Matt Carroll, Chris Fondakowski making his debut tonight, and Nicole Gaffney running camera for us. Just always we want to be thankful to the crew of FATV. They do a fantastic job.
They do, and this is I don't know how many years we've been doing for just FATV, but before that it was certainly Lukey and Dave Spence, and I think Scott May was on that team, wasn't he? I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, Scott's been around. Scott's on the board now.
I was watching the across the river team, LA TV. They've been replaying some of their older games, and Eddie Cataldo was doing a game. Like the old crew before Todd and the current crew. Eddie Cataldo.
I know Ed Cataldo through umpiring. I didn't know he did commentary.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He would sometimes take all the equipment at LA TV, and it'd be a one-man show. Sometimes a two-man camera, but for the most part, he'd go down and do one person, shoot, come back, throw it on, and at least people got some idea of what happened. Red Raiders are just coming on the field onto our right. Their head coach is Tom DiGeronimo. And there's the Chieftains coming in. Jamie Tucker, what a career he's had, or what a career the Tuckers have had.
And Nashoba for the last 10 years, they've been a bandwagon down there, and they've always been a competitive team. But over the last couple of years, they've been on the top of the heap. Just watching them warm up, their quarterback looks like a quarterback. He's built to throw the football, and of all reports, they are not a run-it team; they're a throw-it team.
And that's Sam Belinsky, I think, the starting quarterback for Neshoba. He's a senior. And 6'4", 225. He's a big kid, too.
He's probably going to go somewhere and play.
Raiders, of course, will be led by Andrew Brooks, returning for his senior season. He is, let's be generous and just say, not 6'4" and 225.
He is not 6'4".
He can throw it. He can throw it.
Oh, absolutely. Fitchburg went, 6-5 last season?
Yep, but looking to replace the offense. Sal Figueroa was, for the second half of the season when Fitchburg caught fire, he was the offense.
He surely was,
Give the ball to number one and, hey, let him go.
Chris Young is the man now. We tried to go back a few years. Bernie Welsh was at one time the speaker here. Rick Gilbert, Fred. There were several of them throughout the last few years.
Well, Freddie seemed to be here forever, but as you mentioned, that before that, and now Chris Woods has taken over. Tonight was talking about holding out for more money, but he's still here.
when Chris starts, we'll go to him and pick up the ceremony for Fred. Who do we have up as officials tonight? Did you happen to grab them?
The only name I remember that
The
I
gentleman
recognize.
to your left in the pink shirt knows. I do not.
Former Lunenburg head coach Dale Diamantopoulos has now gone over to the dark side and is now an official.
Yes.
But he was the only name I recognized.
Is that allowed? A coach going over and becoming?
I don't know if that's allowed. He has to go to confession and get all the sins from when he yelled at the guys in the stripes over his long career.
And then, of course, they remember that and they give him the scut work. You know,
Yeah.
you could be the second linesman at this game 100 miles from
you
here.
got the freshman game in Quabbin on Tuesday afternoon at 2.
Look at my church there. National Anthem is coming up in just a moment. Fitchburg High School marching band to do the honors.
We have a little honorarium, so to speak, for Fred Sullivan.
On Thursday, August 30th, Fitchburg High School lost one of its greatest supporters with the passing of Frederick D. Sullivan, class of 1960. Fred retired from Fitchburg High School in 2003, where he taught history for many years. Fred was also the voice of the Red Raiders for close to 40 years, announcing football games, the annual relays, and occasionally a championship track meet. He was an avid sports writer, writing a weekly sports column for the Montechusett Review, as well as stories for the Worcester T&G. Fred was a founding member of the FHS Hall of Fame Committee and was inducted into the Hall of Fame for his contributions to Fitchburg High School in 2009. Without question, Fred was the most knowledgeable person of Fitchburg High School sports history to have ever walked the halls of both 98 Academy Street and 140 Arnhow Farm Road. We will miss you greatly, Fred Sullivan. All hail the red and the gray. If we could now please have a moment of silence in the memory of Fred Sullivan. Thank you very much. At this time, we're going to turn over to the Fitchburg High School Marching Band for our national anthem.
Starting lineups for our opening kickoff. Neshoba will be receiving the ball. And quarterback number 7.
Fitchburg High School football here on FATV from historic Crocker Field. I'm John Gugerty, joined by Dave Clark and Mike Flynn. And Dave, got a question for you right
Go
off
ahead.
the beginning here. I noticed the band is wearing, looks like they've all got leis on. You know, flower necklaces around their neck. You have any idea what that's all about?
They look pretty.
Okay,
I really don't know.
I like that. They do look pretty.
Maybe it's their halftime thing.
Could be.
Okay,
Last year was the circus, I believe.
I see. So we could have a luau at halftime.
Well, we could.
I'm up for a luau.
Who looks like Jack Lord? What was his name?
Jack Lord?
Yeah, but what was his?
You mean his character's name?
Yes, McGarrett.
Yeah.
We're all set.
Book him, Dano.
Well, in games like this, and we see them all the time, is, you know, hang in there, hang in there. Maybe we'll get a break, you know, because talent-wise, very good Nashoba team.
Well, Pittsburgh's offense got on the roll last week, and they scored 32 points. However, the defense has struggled the first 2 weeks, giving up over 30 in both games.
And the Red Raiders kick it off. High end-over-end kick, sailing down to the 15-yard line, heading the far side and getting pretty good to try to take long to get a spot here, Commissioner.
It's Danny McNulty on the return for Neshoba. He's one of the bigger kids on the roster as well, 6'2", 180 for the senior running back.
About the 28-yard line. I have to go from glasses to non-glasses to read the program and then see the field. So.
That's the way it goes, pal.
You know, Mike, they make these things called bifocals.
These are just reading glasses.
Ah.
I can see fine except when I'm trying to read this. And I can't see any of that.
So we need the large print program.
Yes, we
what
do.
you're saying.
Yes, that's true.
It's a little low-level look. And off right up the middle, and good yardage, enough for a first down.
Alex Childs on the carry, picked up about 12, 13 yards.
Give you the instant replay when we can, but pretty big hole there for the Neshoba running back.
Neshoba's not going to huddle. They're going to come to the line of scrimmage and just go when they're ready. And we get
Whistles.
Movement.
I think they might have drawn the Raiders offside there. Might get them for encroachment here.
New feature for tonight's game. We got our referee mic'd.
Sometimes that is really very helpful because, you know, we're up here, they're down there.
There are a lot of situations that we don't have a clue what the heck they're trying to tell us.
Well, there are other reasons why we don't have a clue.
Well, that's
but
true too, but I was trying to skip those.
Well, you know,
Especially in the first game, anyway.
that's right. It's the start of a new season.
Usually I wait till it gets getting cold before we play. Then we blame the weather for the problems.
Dropped the ball, and
I think the 5 yards is coming right back.
Yep.
It looked like the left side of the shoulder line moved.
yep.
Yeah, it looked like it was at least the tackle on the left side there, maybe the guard as well.
So no harm, no foul. 5 this way, 5 that way, and it's 1st and 10.
Just 1st and 15 up on the screen. Screen.
Should be 10.
No, 15 after.
Okay, so what happened to the 5-yard penalty against Fitchburg?
That resulted in a first down.
Okay. I'll catch on to this game.
Coming to the near side and getting down to the 35-yard line. Fitchburg defense right on the play with Cabral.
14 now, maybe.
Few technical issues.
That's the first game of the
Ah, you know.
Shotgun formation again. Going to roll out to the far side. Looks and throws. And it is caught up close to midfield. That'll be a first down.
That was a nice combination route there by the Neshoba. They had a receiver go deep and clear out, and then number 14,
Matt Johnson.
Matt Johnson, came underneath, and the quarterback, as we mentioned, a good thrower, hit him right on the numbers, and gains about 10, so it'll be 3rd and about 4 for the Chieftains.
Neshoba needs to get just over midfield to the Raider 49 for a first down.
Walensky goes back to pass, long, deep, far sideline, and it is incomplete, well covered by the Red Raiders defense.
Walensky had all day to throw there. There was really no pressure at all coming from the Fitchburg defense.
Yeah, I think they had made up their mind right away. That was the play they were going to, the fly pattern down the far sideline. And he just overthrew his intended receiver. And so far, it looks like Nashoba is going to go for it.
4th down and 5. Bolinski calling signals. And the whistle goes up. They call a timeout.
Yeah,
here.
Nashoba bench asked for it.
Full timeout. Nashoba.
This is a big play. I know it's early in the A, and everything's a big play, but I mean,
I like the decision to go for it.
Well, I think it's a much bigger play for Fitchburg because they're obviously the underdog here tonight. To give them some momentum on the first possession and get great field position if Nashoba doesn't get it.
I think it shows on Jamie Tucker's end he's confident not only in his offense being able to get the first down, but in his defense if they don't.
Yeah, plus he took a 60-second timeout to talk about it. Of course, as we mentioned many times in high school football, he's got 5 timeouts.
He does have
Yeah,
roughly 1,000 timeouts.
weather conditions have been kind of interesting today. A little breeze picked up now, but it seems to be pretty good now.
Gusting now and then, but nothing right now to affect the game.
Comfortable, man in motion, near side. Snap it, and they get close and probably do get a first down.
It's going to be real. Oh, we got a late flag. Very late flag.
During the run. Personal foul. Defense, number 7. Hands to the face. 15-yard penalty. First down.
It's unfortunate because that measurement was going to be very close.
Yeah.
I think it was short. But the personal foul against the Red Raiders defense is going to give the Neshoba an automatic first down all the way to the Fitchburg 34-yard line.
That's too bad because they had a nice little drive going there.
Really surprised they ran the ball.
And off straight up the middle. Point to Bolinski.
Does this happen at CBS, by the way? Do you think Jim Nantz has these issues in the booth?
What do you mean?
Cables, running
yeah.
cables in the middle.
Well, I got a
Well, that's
Jim.
what, that's what Tony, how Tony Romo got the. No, I can't say that.
I'm going to, at halftime as a teaser, but we'll get to that in just a moment. 2nd down. Bolinski back to pass, far, long to the end zone, and way overthrowing the lead man on that. I was going to mention the story about Jim Nantz and the way he likes his toast in the morning. Somebody actually did a report on this.
There was a report on Jim Nantz's toast?
Too much toast.
Too much toast.
And if it wasn't the right toast, he would send it back. Toast.
Is it white toast?
Look it up.
Wheat toast?
The internet is full of that information. Bolinski and whistles.
Flags everywhere.
Well,
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty.
kind of like our wireless guy out there. People can kind of pay attention.
Yeah, he's even naming the culprit. Usually in high school they don't name the numbers.
It's true, yeah.
So that'll back it up 5 and make it 3rd down and about 15 to go for the Chieftains. Obviously 2-down territory since they went for it on their own side of the 50.
Bolinski at quarterback. Gonna go back to pass. Has time. Throws it down the middle. Caught. What a catch. And heading close to the end zone, but short.
It's Matt Johnson, the tight end, on the catch for Neshoba, and he was wide open over the middle.
Yeah, the Fitchburg secondary's done a pretty good job with the wide receivers, but that's the second time that Johnson, the tight end, has run free down the middle of the field.
Yeah.
And Bolitsky put it right between the 1 and the 4.
He did. He put it right in that
For a big first down inside the Fitchburg 5-yard line.
Johnson's one of the captains for Neshoba as well. Definitely a focal point of the Chieftain offense. Sets them up now 1st and goal at about the 5-yard line.
Hand off, straight up the middle, in, touchdown.
Untouched was Brendan Lee.
Now they spread the field on that side, and Lee just came off the left tackle, and he had no maroon jerseys in the way. He just waltzed his way to the end zone.
Nothing fancy about that. Just run behind your tackle, behind your fullback. Nobody gets a hand on you. That's 6 points. Also, Dave, I want to take issue with something you said a couple of minutes ago. Jim Nance doesn't have toast. He just chars bread until it is black, like his soul.
I disagree with you.
Welcome, friends.
Is that up?
Blocked.
Oh. That beautiful camera did it.
No good.
Are we having instant replay capabilities tonight?
You know,
or
I'm
are
not
we
quite sure about that.
It's
It's something
happening.
we might have a bit later on, but first game of the season down here at Crocker Field, everything's a little up in the air.
Thank you.
A voice from my ear said it's
Yeah,
coming
it was
soon.
like, hello,
Hello,
whoa,
hello.
hello.
It's Dave Oster, our director in the truck. We thank you, Dave. And
Oh,
hey,
nice.
there's your church, Dave.
Beautiful.
They're
Isn't
gonna
that a nice
rename it-
shot?
Are they going to rename that the clock steeple?
Oh, jeez.
They should.
There should be a plaque on it.
Isn't that nice? Well, tough.
There should be a billboard on it so
Pittsburgh
we
had
can
a
see it
couple of
from here.
times there, Mike, to stomp them down there a little bit, but couldn't. A couple of big turnovers, hurt. A couple of mistakes.
Big personal foul penalty, and a couple of times they let the big tight end run down the middle of the field free.
Yeah, the personal foul on 4th down was a really big play.
And it goes over the head
Man, Neshoba's got a kicker, don't they?
of Aussie guy.
They hit like a 3-wood, just a low stinger right into the end zone. Fitchburg will take over at their own 20-yard line. Oh, actually 25-yard line.
Yeah, they changed that, what, 2 years ago, 3 now?
Okay, Pittsburgh's first opportunity. Andrew Brooks is the quarterback. Kind of taking a look around. They're changing up the player. They're going to take a timeout. They look confused. Bouncing to the near side and getting close to the 30.
Anthony Aquendo, the freshman with the carry there.
Nice little bounce out by Oquendo. He's looking inside, nothing there. He bounces it outside the tackle. Picks up about 3 yards on the play.
And Aquendo will get the carry again.
It's time to the opposite side.
Raiders do, of course, have a few running backs on the roster, including a couple of seniors. Hilario Rodriguez is one. Avery Perry, the sophomore. But it is Oquendo getting the carry so far.
Gonna pass, throw, and
Adam,
it popped up in the air. It goes incomplete.
Was looking for Aussie Guy. Was a little too high for him.
Guy had run a stop route right in front of the Neshoba bench, and he was open, but the ball delivered too high.
It looked like he ran basically right at the first down marker and then turned
Just turned around and
Yeah.
just drove the defensive player back, stopped, turned around, but the pass by Brooks was too high. Pittsburgh 3 and out, and they'll have to kick it away.
We were looking before the game. It looked like Fitchburg had a couple of kickers.
They've struggled with the punting game for a millennium, I think.
Well, this is Noel Concepcion getting this one off.
And as he did warm up, he kicked it a mile high.
Takes a bounce.
Very high kick, not too much yardage on it.
Can't exactly see what yard line they're on.
They're on the 43, it looks like.
That height can be very difficult under these lights because it gets up and hard to see sometimes. Nashoba got away from the ball, and they will take over with good field position.
.5:24 to play. And the Fitchburg offense has only been out there a couple of times. That's another thing, wearing down on your defense. Bolinski will get up, throw, midfield, first down to the 45-yard line.
That one's complete to Troy Barksdale.
It's a very difficult throw, too, rolling out to your left and throwing it back across. Right on the numbers.
Is that a neck roll on Trey Winters, or is that just his hair?
I think it's just his hair.
I think it's hair.
That's amazing.
I don't think I've seen a neck roll since the 80s.
Right up the middle, over the 40, near side 35-yard line.
It's another good run for Alex Childs.
Yeah. Is that who you have?
35, Childs, yeah.
35 to the 35.
That's right. Starting to control this game.
Well, when you can do both, when you can throw it and run it, you got the defense on their heels.
It makes it impossible for the Raider defense. You know, you come up, you sell out for the run. Bolinski's just going to pick you apart.
Most high school teams, you can load up either against the pass or the run, but Neshoba
Take
can
the
do both.
handoff, throws to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Overthrown. Neshoba play looked like he just tripped on it by himself.
Yeah, it looked like the
Tripped is a generous term.
Yeah, it kind of locked feet. But that ball
Blocked feet
was-
is a generous term.
That ball was so far overthrown, there was no way he was going to catch that ball.
Yeah,
I think it was an uncatchable ball, but I also think there was a shoulder block involved.
Well, if it was the NFL, we would have had a flag.
But still, you know, 2nd and 1, take a shot at the end zone. Still manageable on 3rd and 1.
Ooh, nice hit.
Will Vargo, the senior defensive lineman, bursting into the backfield there.
He did, wow.
Let's take another look at
There's
this
your
one.
replay.
He's going to slant right through unblocked.
Boom.
And boy, he just that's a textbook tackle right there. Unless it was the NFL, that would have been roughing the court.
Well, of course. It's a textbook bulldozing is what it is.
So a loss of a couple yards, so it's 4th down and a long 2.
And they're going for it.
They may have to take a timeout. This has been going on for a while here.
I think the Raiders coaches are
They're
signaling
going to
for a
roll
timeout.
out. Bolinski's got it.
Nice.
He's got a first down, and then he's
Perfect read.
airborne.
Yeah, perfect read by Bolinski. He saw his wide receivers clear out that entire side, and there was nobody there from Fitchburg to stop the roll.
Tom DiGeronimo is beside himself on the near sideline. He had coaches running up and down the sideline screaming for a timeout, and they didn't get it.
We're informed by our esteemed timekeeper that only the head coach can call time.
That's probably around the 26-yard line, I believe.
A throw, incomplete.
Trying to find
Kind of
Barksdale again there.
Overthrew him a little bit there. Goes incomplete, as we said.
Down the seam, turned around, and one of the few times that this quarterback's missed a throw. Inside, anyway, he's missed a couple deep.
He's had a couple of overthrows, but for the most part, especially in the middle of the field, the accuracy's been...
Yeah, his medium range passes have been right on.
Oh, yeah. Everything you want out of your quarterback.
Kind of bumped in the backfield. Bolinski going to keep it and going to take it himself.
Got run into that rope over there.
Actually driven out of bounds.
Almost off the turnbuckle. It was close.
That is kind of material for people who liked watching George Steele. That rope, that
The old school.
old school, yeah. A hairy back and third down coming up. Walensky looking to throw, has lots of time. Pumps 2 or 3 times and then just throws it away.
That ball was very nearly intercepted.
Yes. Fitchburg defense tough on that. No way to throw.
That's tremendous coverage because Walensky had all day to sit back there in the pocket and look with no pressure. Finally, Fitchburg got a couple of guys in there, but it still was almost picked off.
I think it was Rocco Archipredi, one of the captain linebackers on the defense for the Raiders, who very nearly got his hands on that one.
Fitchburg's corners have done an excellent job here in the first quarter.
And now again,
But the problem
will
is
go
that
for it
they're-
on 4th down.
The problem is that their offense has been out for 3 plays. Walensky back to pass. Throws. Caught. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
That's Barksdale again.
Another beautiful shot down the middle.
Pass was actually a little bit behind him. I think Barksdale did a really good job, Mike, to adjust. Take a look at the replay
Yeah, I agree,
here.
John. It looked like the ball was thrown behind him, and he had to reach back with his hands and make a nice catch, and then he beats the free safety for the touchdown. But again, that middle part of the field has killed Fitchburg here in the first quarter.
There it is. Oh, there it is. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Kick is good.
And this time the extra point's actually through. So for the Raiders,
Now, all that work to put up that equipment, was it worth it? Yes.
for that shot, yes.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
It was.
One of these days, that might be the winning field goal.
You never know. Hey, Elpo was around when Randy Paul.
Or controversy, did it go through or did it go wide?
Oh yeah, Randy. Well, we've seen plenty of those before.
Not as much with these goalposts, but with the old ones that were kind of short,
Yeah.
were always controversy. Did it go over the bar? Did it go over the upright?
Well, of immediate concern, the Chieftains have gone out to a 13-0 lead,
And it really is tough, Dave, for the Raiders. They come in
Yep.
0-2 for their first home game of the season. They've got, the crowd here at Crocker Field behind them, and we're not even out of the first quarter, and they're already down 2 scores to a heavily favored Neshoba side.
picked up at the 30-yard line. There's a mad scrum.
Might have been the second hardest hit of the game, and that was his own guy on the return.
It was Devin Barasano who picked it up, and you're right, Mike. Hilario Rodriguez darn near knocked him over. I don't think the Raiders practiced the squid kicks this week. Just guessing.
Well, let's see if Fitchburg can get something going here.
Well, they're going with the spread. They got trips to the top of the field. Clean, empty backfield.
Full sideline, going to go back to pass at the 30. Throws, is caught at the 45-yard line. Needs a little help. Midfield and into the Chieftain territory.
Good job there by Caleb Smith. I think he was set up on the slot on the far side, and he got the reception on a quick little crossing route. Take a look at this one, Mike.
Yeah, he's going to slant right across the middle, and Brooks hits him right on the fingers, right in stride. Going to get a nice crackback block. Well, no block, but he got in the way. And Fitchburg gets into the Neshoba territory for the first time tonight.
Throw again. Here's Brooks right up the middle. A yard or 2, that's about it.
That time they gave it to Alderando, the junior. Doesn't seem to me, Mike, like the Raiders really have a single running back that they've got a lot of faith in.
Well, as we talked about in the pregame, they had a tough person to replace who graduated that set all kinds of records, especially in the second half of last year. And they're weren't too many other people getting the ball.
At times it felt like that was the entire
Sal
Raider
left,
offense.
Sal right, Sal up the middle, pretty much for the year.
So now it'll be 3rd down and a long 4 for the Raiders. They've still got Aldorondo in the backfield.
Brooks back to pass to near side and incomplete. Down around the 30-yard line.
He's trying to hit Smith again. It's a pretty catchable ball.
Yeah, those are the plays you got to make, because that would have been a first down and keep the drive. Now, Fitchburg's going to go for it on 4th down, but that would have been an easy first down. That's the second time Fitchburg had an easy first down conversion pass, and both times they went incomplete.
Brooks back to pass, throws, and he threw it into a crowd, and it goes incomplete. A little too crowded in that area.
Yeah, number 40, Danny McNulty, was just sitting back there in coverage. You could just see him going, throw it, I'm going to have an interception. And he hit him right in the hands, but he dropped it.
Oh, yeah, it's 4th down. Knock it down.
Now you know what this means.
If he catches it, he might go all the way the other way. So, Pittsburgh 7 offensive plays here in the first quarter, and Nashoba's had the ball the entire first quarter, and it has 2 touchdowns. And the back judge finally figured out that the ball's going the other way.
I was going to say, where's he going?
Well, he was still hanging out down by the concession stand.
Well, you know, he's got to get a steak and cheese. I don't blame him.
And goes in motion. Handoff. Heading for a couple of yards, and actually more than a couple of yards.
Yeah, he's across midfield into Raider territory. That's Aiden Lee on the carry. Saw them fake that play on the last drive. They sent a man in motion and faked the jet sweep, and that time they handed it off, got a good gain out of it.
He did a nice job picking his way through the Fitchburg defense. Looked like that was going to be a 2 or 3 yard game. He turned it into 7.
Fumble. Ball still loose. We'll have to wait and see who has it.
What did you say, Dave? Maybe we get a break? This could be a break.
Oh, Nelly, what happened?
Tug of war on the bottom of the pile.
Who's got it?
Nashoba looks like.
Big break for the Chieftains there.
Well, so it's going to be a fumble recovered, and that would be the last play of the quarter.
Now on that one, it looked like they faked the jet sweep coming the other way, and there was a bit of a miscommunication at the time of the actual handoff.
I couldn't tell whether he was trying to pull it out or it was a bad handoff. But either way, Fitchburg got a couple of shots at that loose ball. And unfortunately for the Red Raiders, they don't come up with it.
So we hit the end of the first quarter here. Neshoba leading this one by a score of 13-0, Mike, and obviously this is a big 3rd down for the Raiders here.
Yep. Fitchburg's done pretty well on 1st and 2nd down, but 3rd and 4th has been their bugaboo here in the first quarter. They haven't been able to get off the field.
And when you've got, you know, a young, maybe a bit of an undersized defense, especially one that's given up 30 points in both of their games already this season, the last thing you want to have is, you know, just a snowball.
The same thing keeps happening, and at a certain point you get behind, but so far you're just not going to catch up.
We have a certain interesting photo up there.
Well, that's the helmet cam. And you know why we call it the helmet cam, right?
Well, people probably at home saying, what is that? I don't know what it is.
That is the end zone camera. And we call it the helmet cam because you can see right at the top there, it's got a helmet on it, you know, for protection.
That is Michael Source's helmet from 1972 from the Super Bowl.
It was a sighting of Michael Source.
That's why we used it.
It's a very delicate piece of equipment. We want to protect it.
Low-flying birds.
Okay, second quarter, about ready to begin. Coming to the near side, a nice run of 5 yards, 10 yards, 15. Down he goes, just shy of the 40-yard line.
Geez, just when you think Neshoba's offense is powerful as it is, they show another wrinkle with the designed quarterback runs like that. How do you stop him?
He did a nice job of reading again. And Fitchburg bailed out early to go back in coverage and left that weak side wide open for the run.
Just looking at the way he commands the offense and kind of runs everything, Sam Belinsky reminds me a lot of Garrett Delikia, former Leominster High and then Fitchburg State quarterback.
Especially late in his career at Leominster.
Throw near side, incomplete. Well covered by the Red and Grays, 3. Anthony O'Kindle.
I guess they give him a lot of option. When he reads the defense, he can either throw it or run it when he sees the play.
And, especially at this level, you're not going to see too many deceptive looks out of your defense. If they're coming blitz, they're going to.
They're
show
not disguising.
Handoff going to the far side. There's no gain there.
I think once again it was Will Vargo getting into the backfield, and he was one of the first guys there breaking that one up.
Well, when they've tried to get a little tricky running the ball, it hasn't worked. They've done better with their straight ahead stuff.
Yeah, really the only success Nashoba's had on the ground, Mike, is just hand it off right up the middle or maybe off tackle.
Or let the quarterback keep it. They've tried that jet sweep 3 or 4 times. They fumbled, they lost yardage there.
Going back. Little draw, a little screen. And working his way close to the 30-yard line. I thought that was going to blow up right at the beginning of this. Blowing right up at the beginning, but
he didn't disguise it.
Not bad.
He didn't disguise that at all, but they set it up pretty well on the far side.
Yep.
A nice open field tackle there. Kept that from being a touchdown.
McNulty had plenty of grass in front of him if he was able to beat that man. But as it is, it's 4th and 1. Raider defense has a chance to make a stop here.
It's like the 4th time they've had a chance on 4th down to get off the field.
Belinsky.
I don't think he made it.
I don't know.
He didn't get it.
I mean, depending on the spot over there.
He absolutely did not get that.
Turnover on down.
I think it's Angel Santiago who got in the back there.
So the Red Raider defense finally rises up, turns the ball over on downs, and maybe can turn a momentum around.
And now for the offense, obviously, you've got 8:46 left to play here. Plenty of time. You don't have to panic or anything, but put some points on the board, please.
I don't think they even have to score. They just have to get a couple of first downs to get the defense a rest.
That's a bad start.
False start.
Yeah.
Offense.
That's not the way you start a
5-yard penalty.
momentum building drive.
Not ideal.
Come out of the huddle, false start.
Just kind of watching the sidelines a little bit on that last play. Fair to say that Coach DiGeronimo not pleased. Low snap, gonna keep it right up the middle. Brooks heading his way down to the 30 and out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Sometimes all you have to do is be the fastest guy on the field, and right now Andrew Brooks is the fastest guy on the field.
I don't think that was designed to be a quarterback run. It was not. It was,
it bumped it.
It was a ground ball snap, and he decided not to hand it off. And that little hesitation because the ball was on the ground for a few seconds left a big hole up the middle, and Brooks just took off.
Threw everything out. And in motion to the far side. Brooks looking things over. Kind of keep it. Did he keep it on that play or not?
No, he handed it off to
Didn't get much.
And,
Didn't get much, maybe a yard.
a good push from the defensive line. Kendall had nowhere to go. Is it me or is those yardsticks like from the 1960s over there? I like how you see it.
They're pretty tiny.
I don't know.
The down marker is the current version, but the two yardsticks are like really small.
I think it's going to be 3rd and 3 after this one. Quick pass out to the near side. Aussie Guy with the catch.
Oh, they're fighting over the ball. They managed to crawl over the 20 to the 19-yard line.
That was one of those plays that Brooks was trying to make the read. He said, should I keep it or should I hand it off? And it was a kind of a tug of war there for a few seconds.
I don't think Okendo understands that on the option play, the quarterback has the option.
Yeah.
And if the quarterback pulls the ball back, you let him take the ball.
Whatever it was, it didn't work. Oh, another flag.
Uh-oh.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct, red number 53. That's a 15-yard penalty, still 4th down. That's number 53's first unsportsmanlike conduct towards disqualification.
So instead of 4th and 2, now it's 4th and 17.
It'll just kill you.
And it must have been something he said.
There was probably a little chatting going on across the lines, and he upgraded his, and he got a flag, and you just can't do that.
Brooks in trouble, big trouble, and tackled for a big loss down at the midfield stripe.
So
Brendan Lee.
They had 3rd and 2 at the Neshoba 17, and they ended up turning it over on downs after the penalty at the Neshoba 45.
Here's Brooks. He's rolling out. He's in big trouble. And down.
And Neshoba just set the house on that one. They knew he was going to throw on 4th and 17.
So it looks like Fitchburg's going to be held again. So kind of
A little momentum built.
a punt. Yeah, it was.
They gave it right back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And the defense is right back out there.
And in motion far side. They give the ball to him. Cut inside. 10-yard gain. Over the 50 down to about the 47-yard line.
And I'll tell you, Dave, I don't know if the Raider defense diagnosed that play, but their coaches certainly did.
I was going to say the same thing. They had called that play before the snap.
Yeah, we can hear them screaming it here in the press box. That's what I really enjoy this press box. You got the coaches up above us. We got plenty of time, plenty of room to breathe in here. You know, I'll never say anything bad about Elliott Field, but I do feel like a sardine sometimes.
It is a little cramped. They could make it bigger if they removed the presidential suite. That's
Well, yeah, I mean,
The inside and getting close to a first down, but
he's got it.
I think he's got it.
He needed the Raider 45, and they're going to mark him down at the 43. So, yeah, he got it.
Amongst some of the worst places to do a game that we've done. There were quite a few.
The all-time worst?
I mean, we're talking about St. Bernard's, or
Time
St.
out.
Bernard's is
No, that's a palace compared to the old press box at Pioneer Field.
No, you fell down and almost broke your leg.
Oh, that was at Wayland, though.
Wayland.
Yeah, that was just, the press box wasn't bad. That was just the steps.
But the steps were like
I
100,000
think the
steps.
steps count.
The steps were brutal.
Okay, if the steps break your leg, the press box is bad.
It was just a sprain, and I did the game.
That's true.
You guys ever do one at Monty Tech? Their press box
Yes,
is
we have.
very small.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We actually did the Fitchburg State losing streak breaker against Southern SMU.
Okay.
They had lost 35 in a row, and they won that Saturday afternoon. That was at Monty Tech.
Cool.
Well, okay, the all-time worst press box Elliott Field before the new field.
Oh, yeah.
When we were up between the trees on the plains. That is the all-time worst Picnics.
And
We
maybe
can bet about that one because they have a new one.
that's a doubleheader. 'Cause
The new
that
one's
could,
nice.
That could be most stupid event ever.
That's when the old timekeeper
Oh.
fell backwards out of the
Fell backwards.
Fell backwards out of the tree.
That's bad.
I'm trying to figure out who did that. Well, we'll get that later. Time back in here. First down coming up for the Chieftains and to the 40.
I think that time they gave it to the fullback. That was Childs set up there.
We could probably do a half hour on that.
Just a half hour?
Just a half. Well,
Yeah, condense it.
condense it.
But, you know, Nashoba just kind of wearing Fitchburg down, wearing them down. Of course, most high schools play two-way anyways, you know. Pitch and kind of running right into a red shirt there. I think there was just about ready to accelerate there, and he was hit.
Looks like on this drive, the Chieftains are doing a conscientious effort to run the ball.
Right.
Try to power it rather than finesse them.
Hey,
Well, I
Take
think
some
they're,
time off the clock.
they're keeping an eye on the clock. At 4:10, 4:15 left to play here. Of course, the Raiders have 77 timeouts left, so.
Bolinsky to throw, dumps it off, and it goes incomplete, down around the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he had Johnson, the tight end. He kind of snuck out from his position at the line of scrimmage, and he would have had the first down if he had made the catch.
You know, I didn't get a chance to do that at halftime.
Fourth down here again for the Red Raider defense. Last time they were successful on 4th and 2, getting off the field. Should be 4th
Case.
and 6.
Low snap, Bolinsky
Free
got
play.
it back. Flag goes down, long, deep, and it was caught down to the 2-yard line
This one's coming back.
and
Dave.
rolling into the end zone.
It's
but,
Trey Winters who made the pick,
yeah.
but this one's coming back.
It's coming
Neshoba
back.
had a free play.
And that way we won't have to say that was silly to catch the ball on 4th down.
Yeah,
It cost him 30 yards in
Outside.
field position, but
kind of was.
Defense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Still, 4th down.
Thought that 5 yards was going to give Neshoba the first down, but they're actually still maybe 6 inches shy. The length of the football, maybe.
not much. They bring out some of the big fellas here for short yardage.
Fourth and 1. Quarterback keeper, and that should be a first down.
I think he got it.
Yeah, there was no surge backwards, so all you had to do was push the ball forward. They won't measure. We'll see Geronimo, I think, wanted the measurement, but he's not going to get one because they've already moved the sticks.
So Neshoba's getting exactly what they want here. Just keep moving the ball.
Bolinsky to the end zone, and a man wide open, and it goes.
It's a catch, but he's
got
going to
it.
be short of the end zone.
We'll have to see on that.
It's another really nice catch by Barksdale. I think they're going to mark him down at the 1.
Watch Barksdale here. He does a heck of a
Might have
job.
been offside. Some movement.
Right at the
There's
end of
a
the play,
pass.
Barksdale's going to fight his way past the coverage. He was darn close to a touchdown.
I mean, Devin DeLeon did everything he could on that one. It's just a really good job by Barksdale when the ball's in the air to come back and find it.
Quarterback dropped it right in the basket.
Now Nashoba looking to go up 3 scores.
Rolling out, looking, throwing, incomplete. Right down there, right in the end zone for your camera view down there.
Nice play by Trey Winters, number 1, who reached in there and knocked that ball out.
Kind of expected the quarterback there to just roll out to his left and find somebody against the grain in the
I thought he'd just keep it rolling himself, but Fitchburg had good pressure, kept him in the pocket, and had nice coverage considering he had a pretty much a good time to look downfield and see what he had.
Second down play coming up. Pitch. Cuts into the end zone. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
He didn't get much, but he didn't need much.
It was Brendan Lee.
Yep.
And here's your replay.
He's going to get it on the toss to the left. Hesitates just a moment, cuts back up inside.
Nice cut.
Just enough room to get in the end zone.
Nice cut back up the inside and a great block as well by his fullback, Alex Childs.
Get to see that. Are they going to go for 2?
Unfortunately, they're going to go for 2.
They're going to go for 2.
How dare they?
This is the good end of kick when they can injure people down by the scatter the concession stand.
Man wide open in the end zone, and it is
He's
picked
gone.
off. Watch
That's
this.
going to be 2 points for the Raiders.
And that's going to be
Latrell Body brings it all the way back for the pick 2.
wow. I'll see that one again.
Wasn't that a commercial? Let me get a Mick pick 2. I swear that's what happened.
You watch commercials?
Wow.
Sometimes.
Boy, you're all set, and then you get a little bit of life thrown in there.
Well, they tried a little play-action fake and a little floating throwback to the far corner, but Latrell just stepped right in front of that, and he had no white shirts in front of him.
Here it is.
And he's going to take that one back about 100 yards. And
Nobody going to stop.
there'll be no white shirts in this picture the whole way.
Yeah, there was nobody there.
He could have run for 50 miles. Nobody would have caught him.
Well, that was a little different.
So now the Raiders, they got their 2 points. They're going to get the ball back here.
19-2.
Well, a little bit to build on. They still got 2:37, and as you mentioned, a boatload of timeouts still left.
And we did
Now,
get
do they get 2? Did
2
they,
points, yeah, it's
yeah.
2.
And do they get the ball?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Maybe you can get a little something going here. Ball is now it's down.
Ozzie Guy on the return for the Raiders gets it out to about the 25-yard line. We did get official confirmation from Sean Sweeney. That was a 100-yard pick 2 for Latrell Body.
And there was nothing more than official with Sean Sweeney.
No, if Sean Sweeney
Nothing
says
more.
it, it is law.
Looking for the young boy.
No, he said his piece and he ran.
Good, because we're going to lock the doors. We're going to look at it.
Okay. See what Brooks and company can do. A little dancing up the middle in between the hashes.
I think that one was a designed
That looked
quarterback
more
run.
designed than the last one. But
Yeah.
again, that was a low snap. He had to dig that one out of the dirt.
Are you taking a timeout? No. I guess they can keep on going.
38-yard line. It's going to be second.
Let's go with the hurry-up offense. Get a first down, stop the clock that way maybe.
Throwing it long, deep. Fight for the ball. Oh, not a bad throw.
He was trying to find Latrell Body this time for the reception.
Couldn't quite haul it in.
I mean, that's tough. He was being defended by Jack Bonazzoli, and Bonazzoli's got at least 6 inches on him, I'd say, Mike.
Yeah, it was a pretty good battle going on down the sidelines, but that ball just kept carrying and finally just went out of bounds.
Fitchburg's got like 4 people out there. Yeah, we keep on looking at the sideline, and okay, now they snap and they go, and right up the middle for a sharp gain of 6-7 yards.
That'll get him a first down. And
20-second timeout.
I'm surprised they took a timeout there because the clock was stopped to move the sticks.
I mean, once the sticks got into position, they were going to start moving again. So. It's a pretty simple play call here on 3rd and 1, just a handoff to the right side. It looked for a second like Alderando didn't really know what to do when he got to the second level.
I said, hey, how did I get this far?
Wait a second, I haven't been hit yet.
I never got this far before. Now what do I do?
Yeah, at halftime the band will be out there. It's going to be quiet on the stands there, but it's not bad at all. Not a bad evening to come on down at Crocker Field. Go back to passes. Brooks moving out and being wrestled to the ground, shy of the 40-yard line.
And the Raiders will take another timeout.
Yeah, coverage sack. Brooks had time to look downfield, just nobody open. And finally that pocket collapsed.
It's a loss of about 6 on the sack. The Raiders take their 3rd timeout, leaving them with just 2.
Maybe you folks want to head down to the concession booth.
See
We're
plenty of
supposed to
folks
get
have
our
made their way there
We're supposed to
already.
get our TV in there. We haven't got it yet. We're supposed to have a TV on the outside so you can see the game going on. We know who to blame. Fumble to Scott, tosses it out to the near side. Long side, actually, and it is incomplete. Oh, boy, Brooks had put it right there. Put it right there.
That was right in the hands of Latrell Body.
Couldn't haul it in. Couldn't haul it in. See that? Here it is.
I don't think Body was his first read here.
Oh, snap.
Fakes, looks the other way. Finally says, I gotta get rid of the ball. And this ball dropped right in the hands.
That's a really well thrown ball, too. Body had a step on his man.
Here's Brooksy again. Has time, throws it down the middle. Incomplete. Tipped. Around the 40-yard line.
I think he was looking for Devin DeLeon, and he was very, very fortunate, Dave, that John Duros didn't pick that ball off.
He really forced that one into traffic.
Yes. Amazing how a play can be thrown out. Make a mistake. It throws all the timing off. And before you know it, you get 6 points.
Bring the punt team out. Another mile-high
Punt
punt.
is away.
Oh, what are you blowing the whistle for?
Uh-oh. A whistle. Well, as Bob Cousy would say, a little premature.
Premature whistle.
Premature.
We could hear the Raider defensive coaches up here just shouting, why are you blowing the whistle? And he shouldn't have blown the
Well,
whistle.
he called for a fair catch, and he assumed, and that's what you should do as the officials, assume he's going to catch the ball. And he blew the whistle. Not to say that Fitchburg was going to get the ball, but once he blows the whistle, the play's dead.
Little screen up the middle. And out to the far side. This one's at the 40-yard line. And around the 43, they should mark that.
It's a really good job by Angel Santiago to shed his blocker and then get in there and make the tackle. Looked like the Chieftains were going to get a big gain. Take a look at this one, Mike.
Yeah, they had the screen set up on both sides of the field. They throw back to the far side. And as you mentioned, Santiago does a great job of just picking his way through the blockers. Not really a good job of blocking by the guys up front. Oh, perfect throw and catch. And we do have a flag back here.
Holding. Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's the old premature whistle makeup flag right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right.
So instead of the big gain downfield, I didn't see any holding there.
I was looking, and we cut away from it to go to the pass. But
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't see
if it was a
anything.
hold, it was after the ball left.
So that's a big break for the Raiders, obviously.
You might want to get a picture on the coach there and those guys in the booth there. He might be a little steamed at this particular time. Because that was a catchable ball. Hit behind the line of scrimmage.
After that flag, Nashoba, I think is more than happy just to run out the half clock here and go to the locker room up by 17.
I think that's it.
We saw one of the offensive coaches for the
20
Raiders
seconds.
come storming out of the box here after their last possession, so they're not going to call timeout, try to get the ball back.
And I think Jamie Tech is just going to let it go. And that should do it for the first half. And at the half, we'll have a score with Neshoba 19 and Fitchburg High School 2.
And really, 19-2, obviously won. It's a weird score. It's not the kind of score you expect to see. It also feels...
If you're running a pool of 9 and 2 with your numbers,
9 and 2, you're going, I'm out.
no, you're out.
If anything, and it feels weird to say, given that the Raiders are down 17 points, they're a little lucky to only be down 17 points right now.
It could be much worse. It could
Yes,
be actually could be a little bit better.
A couple of plays
A
go
lot
on.
of mistakes. They made a lot of mistakes in that first half. Penalties, drop balls. Especially on offense. They were not very crisp at all on offense.
15
They have been able-
Time, please. Let it run. 15.
But they have been able to move the ball a little bit on the offensive side of the ball and hopefully get a little bit of points scored as we move into the third quarter here.
Yeah, it got a little better as the half went on. Got some first downs. Had one chance to score, but the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty derailed that.
All right, so I think we're going to turn the proceedings over to the Fitchburg High School Marching Band, take ourselves a break for halftime. We'll be back in a little less than 15 minutes. It's Fitchburg High School Red Raider football right here on FATV. welcome back to historic Crocker Field here in Fitchburg. The Red Raiders trailing Nashoba by a score of 19-2. And I got to be honest with you, Dave Clark, Mike Flynn, I have never seen a football score of 19-2. Have either of you, Mike?
I remember 29-2. That was the final score of the, I believe, the 1984 Thanksgiving game.
Yeah.
Okay.
John Dubzinski's win
right?
over Leominster.
Yeah.
He was the Fitchburg High School coach. So a lot of people don't remember. And that was the only win by Fitchburg in the.
That was the Leominster. That was Fitchburg beating Leominster.
Yes, here. Yep.
29-2.
And I only remember that because I was in one of those pools, and I had 9-2.
Well, you
Thank you very much.
There
Thank
you
you
go.
very much.
And it was nice of you to.
I skipped all the way home that morning.
Nashoba will kick it away to start the third quarter. This one is short. Bounces at the 35, picked up for the Raiders there. Trey Winters on the return. He's into Nashoba territory, pushed out of bounds at about the 40-yard line.
Well, that ref could have got totally clobbered on that play, but he didn't. He moved out quick enough. That's the way to start a quarter here.
Well, we've seen that happen against Pittsburgh numerous times over the last 3 or 4 years. Poor kick coverage on a short kick. Picked it up on the hop, and he's off to the races down in front of the Pittsburgh bench. Gets knocked out of bounds. Pittsburgh will have great field position to start here in the second half.
Andrew Brooks is your quarterback, and he goes into a formation, ready to hand off to the near side, and picking up a good 5 yards on the first carry.
Saw Fitchburg High come out there, 4 wide receivers, but then they give the ball off to Anthony Aquendo, looking to maybe exploit a mismatch in size.
Spread Neshoba out.
And I think on that second down carry, he picked up enough to move the chains.
Yep, first down. Pittsburgh hasn't had many here in the start of this game. A little more hop in their step here on offense. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And just like that, they're backed up.
Now, we talked about it right before the half. Mistakes on offense have really killed them. And there, a bad snap will cause a loss of 6.
They had a personal foul that set them from 4th and 2 to 4th and 17. That didn't help. And now we got a false start that'll make it second down and 20.
I'll tell you.
Showing the great line of Mo Howard. Going the wrong way.
Got a few halftime scores from around the region while we got a second here. St. Bernard's leading Narragansett 20-7. St. John's 28 over Leominster's 14. And Lunenburg and Monty Tech, it's a squeaker. Lunenburg 33, Monty Tech 0.
That was kind of throw it and hope me pass. And didn't hope well enough as it fell into the hands of a defender for Neshoba.
It's Jack Bonazzoli on the interception. He caught that ball in such a way that it looked like he was the intended receiver. You know, it hit Bonazzoli in stride.
Looked like that Brooks had made up his mind right away. He was going to throw the ball in that direction and deep. And the intended receiver was not even close to be open. So the bad snap and the penalty kind of derailed another drive. And Fitchburg back on defense.
Killed them. Be the play of the game when you get a return like that and you're unable to do anything. You're unable to get it in the end zone.
Especially coming out of the half.
Oh, that's straight up the middle running. You hear those pads clicking on their way through the middle of the field.
There's Alex Childs, the fullback, with the carry.
Got one more out-of-town score for you here as we take a look at this one. Just a nice run up the middle by Childs. Does a good job shaking a tackle in the backfield. Bridgewater State is leading the Falcons of Fitchburg State University 21-0 at halftime in Bridgewater.
Tough start for the Flying Falcons.
Whoa.
That's 6.
Fine.
Untouched into the end zone goes John
Touchdown.
Phoney. Nothing phony about that one. That was just a beautifully authentic pitch and catch and then run after the catch.
You know what, Mr. Phoney's got some pretty good jets.
It's a 65-yard touchdown. Take a look at this one again.
Catches a little crossing route, and he's just going to go
1, 2, 3,
goodbye.
4, 5, 7. Got 5 guys there.
It's not even a contest.
He had like a yard of separation when he made the catch, and then nobody caught him.
He
He was
left the
just
ball in the wake. Now for the people in the grandstands, they don't follow the ball.
Kick is no good.
We got to follow the ball down there.
Well, we'd like to see that. Kick was no good. We didn't get that end zone camera down there.
Could be carnage down on the ball. Well, that was a certainly bad turn of events really quickly for the Red Raiders.
not what you want at all. You're marching down the other way, and then you throw one pick, and then just like that, we're not even halfway through the third quarter. You're now down 23 points.
And when you see the balloons start
That's
to
the
deflect.
Nashoba people.
Yep, pretty good crowd that traveled down
Yeah,
from
they
Bolton
did.
tonight.
Yeah, nice crowd.
It's one of the biggest non-Thanksgiving away crowds, so we've seen a lot.
I was going to say they're not too often, but you do see games where the far stands are just completely empty.
Everybody is dressed as metal benches.
But obviously plenty to celebrate here for Neshoba.
I think they're pretty sure that they know they got a pretty good team this year. They're going to be the, I think, the favorites in their division here in Central Mass.
No, I don't think there'll be any question about that. We've been talking about some other scores, and certainly a lot of people are talking about St. Bernard's.
They play in a lower division, but they're going to. I would not be surprised to see them playing in Fox.
Yeah, for what they don't have in those games like that, you know, I don't know if they get more timeouts, or what, but it seems as though it kind of, you know.
Well, the Super Bowl games are only 10-minute quarters, and I think they only get three timeouts. I mean, they made it there 2 or 3 years ago. They played it. They lost, but they made it to Foxborough not that long ago.
This team looks a lot better. I should say a lot better, but they've got an outstanding chance to be one of those super teams.
Really the only offense the Raiders have had is Andrew Brooks creating things on his own.
Oh, snap. Watch out. Just as he was going to make that tackle, he stopped. Started up again, and then just kind of planted down around there.
Well, swung it out to Louis Alvarado, but I don't think he was the main target. I think he was just a check down. There was nowhere else to go. And he had nobody out there to help him.
And once again, the Raiders send out the punting unit.
The back judge's going to blow the whistle.
I would think not.
Sky high kick.
He had his head done.
And I think it hit a Raider in the helmet.
It hit a Fitchburg player first. So the ball is actually dead at the spot.
And it's down at the point of contact,
Unless
right?
Nashoba tries to pick it up, then they can still return it.
Now let's take a look
Gonna
at
watch.
it.
It's gonna hit the Fitchburg player right in the head. Doink.
So Nashoba will take over again, 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Sam Belinsky's up over 200 yards already. 200 yards, a couple of touchdowns for him. And he did have the pick 2 in the first half. Resulted in the only 2 points for the Raiders.
There's very few mistakes. Actually, should be pitching a shutout. As you mentioned, the pick 2, the 100-yard return. The only Fitchburg highlight so far here in tonight's game.
And now it's just Neshoba imposing their will. And we talked about the Raider defense maybe wearing down, and Neshoba had the ball for so much of the first half. I mean, that's just a simple handoff up the middle, and Alex Childs has 15 yards and a first down.
We don't have time of possession, but it's way in favor of the team in white and green.
Oh.
This time Childs has stood up after a gain of a couple. Rocco Archipredi, one of the Raiders leading the hit there. We'll set up 2nd down and 9 for Neshoba.
This may become one of those games where our timekeeping will develop because of those valuable players.
Yes. KG veteran that he is.
Starts doing the do-run with the clock.
Now in motion to the near side, they run that jet sweep again. And this one gets blown up in the backfield. I think it was Tyler Goodridge came in on the blitz from the far side, and he was able to wrap that one up. Gain of maybe a yard.
Raider defense has made a lot of good plays, but unfortunately giving up a lot of big plays.
Right.
At the wrong time.
Nashoba is just 2 out of 7 on 3rd down today. Belinsky under pressure here. Gets it across the 40. He's brought down shy of the 35, which is the yard he needed for the first down.
I think if you read your next stat, this is where they got better than on 4th down.
Yeah, 2 out of 7 on 3rd down in the first half, but 4 of 5 on 4th down conversions were the Chieftains, and I think they're going to go for it again here.
I do not believe they punted. They've gone for it every time on 4th down.
Big thanks to Sean Sweeney providing the halftime stats and the out-of-town scoreboard for us. Danny Bolak as well, chipping in with the knowledge that the Falcons are losing. Thanks for that, Dan. I appreciate it. So 4th down and 3, Neshoba will go for it. Belinsky rolls to his right, throws to his right. That pass is complete. 1st down Chieftains. Catch made by Troy Barksdale, and that's, what, 26 times we've called his name tonight, Mike?
He has been the guy, between him and the big tight end Johnson. Those are the 2 guys that have made the big plays on 4th down.
Neshoba leading this one 25-2, keeping their starters in for probably the remainder of this 3rd quarter, and then they'll start getting some subs in there, one would think. It's early yet, only the 3rd game of the season for them. Guys need reps after all.
Preseason being as short as it is.
Flag comes in at the snap. Pass to the left side is complete. It's a gain of about 8 yards, but we're going to check the penalty here.
So I think we have 2 separate ones. I think the umpire threw one later on in that play.
Illegal formation, 5 in the backfield, 77 was not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty.
Next game for the Red Raiders will be in October on the 5th.
It was the second penalty of an eligible downfield.
To,
That penalty is declined.
Marlboro High School. It's coming up in a couple of weeks.
So that's the game I get to be the obnoxious Marlboro homer wearing my black and orange. Is that the plan?
I just hope the weather's better than the last time Marlboro visited Crocker Field.
Oh, yeah. That
It was the insane night of rain.
Oh.
For some reason, they decided to start the game at monsoon.
Yep.
I had to leave my car here that night. I couldn't get to it. There's such a big lake in the middle of the road.
Yes. Yep.
So Nashoba now first down and 15, looking long to the left. Jump ball falls incomplete. Looks like it was intended for John Foney, who had the big 65-yard catch and run on the last possession. Just couldn't come up with it.
Pretty well covered there deep on the far sideline. Down by the old baseball diamond.
Of course, Dave, you mentioned the next Raider home game against Marlboro. The next Falcon telecast is next Saturday. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff against Mass Maritime. Now Nashoba sets up the screen to the left side. Raiders diagnosed it, but does a great job getting out of tackles, making something out of nothing there. That's Brendan Lee, one of the captains for the Chieftains. Does that make him a chief among chieftains? Is that how that works?
Better than a Brave. Did a nice job here. He's going to, as you mentioned, he set up the screen here in the backfield. And the Red Raiders are going to have 3 or 4 shots at him. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. And finally on the 4th one he's brought down.
It's actually Henry Yang making the tackle. Saw him leave with looked like a shoulder injury earlier. Good to see him back out on the field. Now on 3rd down, he's just going to keep it himself. Pick up the first down and more. Sam Belinsky has a first down.
Can't be very fun to tackle for defensive backs. He looks like a big dude.
He is.
See him turn the corner here and watch the defensive back come up. He's not exactly thrilled about having made that tackle.
No, he's very happy to just kind of guide him out of bounds.
Just kind of say, I'll usher you to the sideline, sir.
Yes. There's no need for us to get violent here. No, we're only playing football. Here, let me show you this lovely white line here. Would you like to step over it? That would be lovely.
Be nice to me.
Nashoba Mark knocking on the door again. 1st and 10 at the Raiders' 16-yard line. Motion to the near side. And the handoff goes to the near side. Good blocking across the 10. Mark him down at the 9-yard line. It's Brendan Lee on the carry. Got a good block there from his tight end, Matt Johnson.
Nice read of the hole by Lee. Just pull it up between the guard and the tackle. And that'll end it'll be into the last minute here in the 3rd quarter.
I think they've got time for...
Yep, they got time to run another one.
They have to run at least 1. They could run like 7 if they wanted to, but there's no need to rush.
I guess not.
And the
20
Chieftains
seconds
will call
timeout.
timeout.
Nashoba, their first timeout of the half.
Hopefully they'll last.
So Dave, while we have a second here, why don't you tell us about the fundraiser they're doing with the bricks down at the entrance here to Crocker
Yeah, we
Field?
didn't get a chance to do that. Fitchburg, did anybody get any shots of that down there? Or that would have been nice, but next game kind of walked on them anyways.
But
anyways, when you walk into Crocker Field, well, we had kind of a soft opening today, I guess, but there's a new walkway coming in right as you get through the gates.
you can see a little bit of it there.
It's the it's the walkway activity that we started up here as a fundraising venture, and it's gone way beyond what we were expecting. More in that in a second.
Lee gets the carry on the sweep to the left side, breaks through tackles, cuts into the end zone, touchdown Chieftains, and now it is 31-2. So let's hear about those bricks.
Well, the bricks are the 2 different kinds. There's a red brick for $50, a granite brick for $100, and all those proceeds go to the Crocker Field renovation
And the granite bricks, in addition to being made out of granite, are larger, correct?
Right. Yep.
8 by 8. The smaller bricks are your basic brick size. And also in the brick color, the granite ones
Think it's good.
are granite color. You can have them engraved, whatever you want to put on them.
Yep. It started out as an idea a few months ago, and
Kind of like the
it's
promotion the Red Sox ran a few years back. Folks remember that
yes,
promotion.
a lot of people do.
Yep.
But the sales on this were way beyond what we thought we were going to get.
Yeah, we were talking with Coach Casenza, the athletic director here at Fitchburg High. He was very impressed with the sales. He was saying, we might have to cut it off soon. We just didn't expect to sell so many.
And I was, and some of the people that helped out, I just want to mention one guy, and you should really mention more because then you get in trouble. But John Cordio has done so much in the last couple of weeks handling that situation. He's been fabulous, and we get a chance to look at it. Come in at Crocker Field. Some people came in earlier today, some older folks, and they just thought it was beautiful.
Third quarter of play.
And if anybody has any questions about that, or maybe wants to, get in touch with the athletic department, we encourage them to give Fitchburg High a call. The number you want to call is 978-345-3245. Again, if you want to have an engraved brick for, your family or a memorial to a loved one, something like that. Again, the number is 978-345-3245. Yep.
It's already, I was looking at it before the game, it's already a virtual who's who of Fitchburg High School athletics. Already.
I will say those spots are going fast. Most of those bricks are already
I was
engraved.
going to say that they're going at a real fast pace, and I don't know how many are left. I don't think there's a heck of a lot of them left.
Well, there's another entranceway.
Yeah, there's other ideas.
Never turned down money.
It was beautiful, but I think most people come in that gate.
Yeah, so that's the more popular route.
Raiders go play action on 1st and 10, try to set up a screen of their own to the near side. That pass is incomplete, very nearly picked off. Alex Childs, we've called his name a lot on offense. He was in there on defense as a linebacker as well. Very nearly had a defensive touchdown.
Had that screen sniffed out, and he was about a step away from taking that one to the house for 6.
So for the Raiders here, obviously you're down 30 points at the beginning of the 4th quarter. Thoughts of a comeback aren't really founded, but you want to have your guys out there, get your starting offense some more reps, try to get something positive out of this game. Brooks back to pass on 2nd down. He is in trouble, and he is dragged down immediately.
Not many flags tonight. There's one out there now, though.
Jack Cahill making the sack, but we will check the penalty flag.
I think he picked it up.
Picked it up. He was just unblocked.
When you're playing defense with a 30-point lead, you're pretty sure the offense is going to have a lot of running plays.
Now on 3rd and 20, Brooks is back to pass, rolling to his right, throwing long over the middle. That pass is high and incomplete. Looked like it was intended for Ozzie Guy, but the closest man to it was Aiden Lee. And the Raiders go backwards and 3 and out again.
Well, one thing they're going to have to correct in practice is the shotgun snap, because there have been numerous times that ball's rolled back to Brooks at quarterback. So they're going to have to fix that thing right away.
The Raiders have been fortunate not to lose possession as a result of that, but it's definitely affected the timing a lot of times. Fourth down, kick is away, fair catch called for and barely made.
Right at the end of his fingertips.
Noel Concepcion, who's the new punter, he's been their best weapon tonight. Fitchburg has struggled to find a punter the last, 1,000,000 years, it seems like. He gets a nice high kick.
Yeah. He does.
And the return guys seem to be struggling to get to catch it.
I don't think Nashoba's had a punt return tonight. They've called a number of fair catches.
We had the phantom drop, and then we had the ball hit the Fitchburg defender on the helmet.
So now for the Chieftains, they come out leading this one 32-2. They're going to run a handoff to the near sideline here, and we're going to get some new names in the game for Neshoba. This is Jack Cahill making the carry. Belinsky was still the quarterback. He just took the snap and handed off on that play. And we have an injured Raider down on the field as well.
Angie Santiago, number 7. Looks to me it might be a cramp, but I'm not a doctor.
I was saying that this weather that we've had tonight might lead to a cramp or two.
It's a little muggy.
Flag over to our left. It isn't moving at all.
Hanging straight down currently. As you mentioned before, there has been some gusty breezes coming through. Right now, pretty quiet.
Good to see Santiago get off the field under his own power.
Well, he's got some help there from Alan Twomley. Who is, he got a cramp or injury, minor injury, or he's usually they go to. They go to Mr. Twomley.
Just a cramp that's going to stretch it.
Yep.
So now 2nd down and 5 for Nashoba. They go back to the I formation. Handoff goes up the middle to the fullback. It's Childs again. He gets a couple. And I suspect we have seen the end of the Nashoba trickeration on offense. It's going to be a lot of simple formations and handoffs.
By this point, they're just trying to run the clock out.
Yeah.
They still have Mr. Belinsky in a quarterback.
Now 3rd down and 3 for the Chieftains. They go to Cahill. He gets a block. He's got a 1st down, breaks a tackle. He's across the 25. She's going to be just shy of the 25, mark him down at about the 27-yard line.
Kind of a tiring tackle.
Well, those guys on defense have been out there for a long time.
Yeah, not many series at all.
Ran through one tackle.
I was thinking a little bit about earlier today about the Nashoba Fitchburg series, and there were a few good ones back then that had some both teams, really equal teams.
We had a couple of slobber knockers over the years.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Cahill picks up a couple on 1st down there.
I don't think they played regularly back when Fitchburg was really good in the 90s and in the early 2000s. I don't think they were playing annually then.
No, I think they got like here and there, not every year.
Not every year.
They were too busy figuring out what league they were going to be in.
Well, that was back when Fitchburg would open up against Severian and Brockton.
Nashoba now 2nd down and 9. Handoff goes up the middle. Really nothing doing there. New man in at quarterback is Josh DiGeronimo, the sophomore. It's a loss of a couple on the handoff. It'll be 3rd down and 12 now for the Chieftains. So 3rd down and 12 for Nashoba. DiGeronimo has a man in the backfield with him, and we get plenty of motion before the snap.
Plenty of flags.
So the umpire throw one, saw the linesman throw one. I think the referee threw one.
The
Back jersey's back there having a sandwich.
give you the Chieftain
Ball
team
stop.
here. Jamie
Offense,
Tucker
number 58. 5 yards.
is the head coach of
Still
the
third
team,
down.
followed by his assistants, Andy LeBlanc, who I think did most of his work here at Fitchburg, right? Andy's a pretty good back here at Fitchburg High School.
Third down,
Raymond.
16. Raiders coming on the blitz. DiGeronimo throws for the end zone. Pass is underthrown and swatted down. I think that's Leslie Jones on the coverage for the Raiders. Did a good job getting up and knocking that one down. I'm sorry, David, didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I just wanted to mention, I try to get the coaches in at least a time or two. Bob Raymond, Steve Trundle, Casey Ruggiero, Denny Ortiz. Some rumors about
Next
Ortiz.
three guys, next three guys, all Fitchburg guys. Danny Ortiz, Danny Brazilian, Kevin Berthium are all Fitchburg, I believe all Fitchburg Raiders.
So now 4th down and 16, and Neshoba will go for it. Just a handoff up the middle. Raises the question, does Neshoba even have a punter?
They usually do over time. They always seem to have had a
Under both Tuckers, they've always seemed to have excellent special teams.
Charlie Raff is the assistant coach, as well as Greg Graham, Andy Brooks. This is all on the Fitchburg side. James McCall, Josh Hall, Jameson DiGeronimo.
Max Schiavone, former standout offensive lineman for the Falcons at Fitchburg State.
Mickey Maroney. Greg Antucci. Jamie Achapredi.
First down handoff goes to Avery Perry. First time we've called his name tonight.
Grain Jarrett. Grain Jessen, along with Grant Jensen and
Ben Sattywhite, another former Falcon.
if I'm ready to take that one, right? Ben Satterwhite. That's the Neshoba coaching staff.
Second down pass is tipped, and now there's a scrum for it. I think the Raiders came up with it. It's Brian Rivera on the catch. Also worth noting, the pass was thrown by Monty Graham, backup quarterback in for the Raiders. Graham's the sophomore. He's a southpaw as well. Take a look at this one, Mike.
There's a fire it over the middle, gets tipped, and that's a heck of a circus catch by Brian Rivera, as he had to tip it with both hands before he was able to make the catch on his back.
High snap.
Handoff goes to the right side, gain of maybe a foot, maybe, possibly.
Kids are still down there working hard.
This is when a few guys who probably came to tonight's game and didn't expect to play are not out there.
Yeah.
Second down, Graham will keep it himself. Gets a couple blocks. He's across midfield into Chieftain territory. Finally knocked down at about the 40-yard line, and then two flags come in late. I'm not sure if the Chieftain defender knew that Graham was down or just wanted to get a shot in, but he was hit well after he was down.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Late hit. Offense, number 64. Place Louis Elton a first down. Wind down the ready.
My apologies, that play was actually a foul on the Raiders. Take a look at it again. Graham does a good job getting into the open field. And he's down there. And the hit came in afterward.
We didn't get the good stuff.
So the Raiders are backed up into their own territory. Now Graham throwing long to the left. He's got a man. That pass is tipped and incomplete. In and out of the hands of Brian, not Rivera, excuse me. That was Alex Rojas, the intended receiver.
Rojas on a go route, just took off down the far sideline. Like he was open briefly, but the ball took a little bit too much long to get there. Gave the defensive back a couple of extra steps to catch up and knock it away.
Apparently, there's going to be no Mr. Touchdown tonight.
I don't know if Mr. Touchdown is going to make it out of the...
Second down pass is complete to Rivera. I think they were trying to set up the wide receiver screen. He just didn't get enough blocking in front of him. I think it results in a loss of a yard. And you're right, we are yet to hear. Maybe he's not going to make it today.
I can see him getting in his car now. He's ready to drive off.
Third down, Graham under pressure, scrambling to his left, now throws to his left. He's got a man there. Pass wasn't quite on target, falls incomplete out of bounds. I think he was trying to hit Rivera again.
Graham does a great job of avoiding the sack. Somehow kept his eyes downfield and just threw a total wrench.
Fitchburg. Full timeout.
And now Fitchburg High will take a timeout because, really, why not? You're down 225. You're down, 30 points. There's 2:25 left in the game.
30-point play out.
Yeah.
You try to get kids in there with
Trying to get some clean jerseys.
youngsters in there.
A frustrating start to the home schedule for the Fitchburg Red Raiders. But they'll be back in 2 weeks, take on the Panthers.
No easy task there either, because they've been pretty good the last couple of months.
Well, of course, they're the Mobile Panthers. What do you
I
expect?
forgot you were an orange and black. One of our all-time great stories was doing a game in Kelleher Field.
Oh, that'll never be.
If we had filmed that night, and if it was funny on radio, it would have been great on video. Because we could have replayed that 100 times and just laughed.
That was the doc, right?
The old doc got wiped out.
Fourth down and 10, the Raiders will go for it. Graham looking to his right, now to his left. Now under pressure, and he is going to be brought down in the backfield. Great downfield coverage there by Nashoba. Nothing Monty Graham could do with the ball there.
Being the nice guys we were, we didn't really laugh until they found out he was okay.
Oh, that was the week after they beat Brockton.
I think so.
And they were sky high. And then the following week they had to play Marlboro, who was really doing very well.
Fitchburg. Full timeout.
And it was right before the half, and he got
The sideline was all muddy, and they had a tarp on the sideline.
Oh.
Pittsburgh ran a toss sweep, and the doc was just standing. He got flipped over. And it was.
I still feel that.
But he got back up, and he was okay. And
He's all right.
He was funny as well.
That's why it's funny, because he was all right.
But it was funny on radio, but on TV it would have been hilarious. We could have replayed it 50 different times. Stop it. Freeze it right there. Watch him stick the landing.
Raiders called the timeout, sent some fresh faces out onto the field on the defensive side of the ball. I think Neshoba's just going to line up in victory formation, take a few knees here.
Hey, that's the ball game.
There you go.
And
That's
the officials
smart.
are just going to call it. That's a good call.
Absolutely.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I go another. Yeah, I've never seen that before.
I approve.
Is that like chess? They just resigned.
Well, when it's 32-2, and there's.
I have no problem with it at all.
Oh, it says 0, so that's it.
I'm all for an extra 2 minutes.
Well, we do want to thank you all for watching here on FATV or FATV.org, wherever you may be. We also thank the volunteer crew of Fitchburg Access Television, of course, our director Dave Oster, Travis Falk, running replay, as well as everything else under the sun for us.
There you go.
Glenn Fossa doing a little technical supervision tonight. Thank you to Glenn as well. You know, we did okay. I think we're fine. We were here. We talked. People can't say we didn't talk.
Tough game. You know, if you get matched, it's easy.
Close games are easy to do.
What's going on with the video camera down here? Running around.
I think
But we enjoy doing it, and wish the games were a little closer, to be honest with you, but we'll have our time.
you win some, you lose some, and sometimes it's 32-2. What are you going to do?
I'll try. Oh, thanks for the people for the steeple. Still up there, nice and clean.
Dave
You're on Main
Clark's
Street.
people is still lit across
You're
the
on Main Street. Going up Main Street is going to be right in front of you.
street. From now on, it'll ever be known as the Dave Clark's.
Please.
All right, our next telecast here from Crocker Field will be in 2 weeks as the Raiders take on the Panthers of Marlboro High School. But of course, next Saturday, a 2 o'clock game, homecoming game for the Fitchburg State University Falcons. We hope to see you then. But until then, for Dave Clark and Mike Flynn, I'm John Grugerty saying thank you so much for joining us. We'll be with you next time right here on FATV.
Peace.